we've had our fun with the typewriter, let's take a look at the Ncore Retro. I'd like to thank Nanoxia first for sending me this review sample. And with that out of the way, let's get right down to it. This is an aluminum back and face-plated keyboard with per-key LED backlighting that is fully programmable, with white Kali switches underneath each key, which are rather nicely designed to look like that Underwood typewriter we were playing with a minute ago. Each key has its own stem and keycap. Let's get that in focus. This happens to be the left arrow key. You can see an icon of a little man in there, which allows me to change the rate at which the keyboard's backlighting does things. We've got a couple of different backlighting modes. Simplest and probably my favorite is just lights on, lights off. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by my phone overheating, there's several game modes that are pre-programmed, 1 through 8. We've got some popular things, League of Legends, Car, which I don't know which one is some racing game, Call of Duty, a real-time strategy preset, first-person shooter presets, all those fun things. And we also have M1 and M2, which can be programmed manually using the per key setting. And that's relatively easy. You enter a key combination and then type in the keys that you want to stay lit up. So if I do M1, I've already programmed some of that. We also have several whole keyboard illumination options. We have a nice pulse setting, which I suppose doesn't come through very well with it flickering. You can increase the brightness using your up and down arrows, and the speed using the left and right arrows by pressing down the function key. I can go ahead and speed that up, which it looks like this defaulted to its maximum, or make it very slow. We've got a couple of different ones. We've got a nice pattern that goes across the keyboard as you're typing in a breathing motion, a little race around, nice pulse heartbeat type setting, and one of the more entertaining ones, although I find very impractical, this wave out from the key that was pressed. So I can hit a number key and watch a wave go across the keyboard in that direction or from the other side with one of the letters. As I mentioned, I generally find whole keyboard illumination or no illumination the easiest. You can hear some of the sounds from the keyboard as I'm using it here. The keys are distinct. You can feel each key as you press it. Let's go ahead and bring up a typing test. We have a relatively popular typing test here, Aesop's Fables, typingtest.com. Pretty straightforward. You can do it for a minute-long test. You've got some longer test options, but we'll just run through for 1 minute. And Aesop's Fables is the default here. It starts when you start typing. So, and I'm sure that the fact that I'm typing around my tripod is going to have a small impact, but this is mostly for theatrics, so you can hear the keyboard in full swing. Alright, well, 62 words with a bunch of errors when I'm reaching around my tripod is not the score that you'll find in the full written review for this typewriter, but gives you a good feel for the tempo and pace and the acoustics involved in these Kali White switches. They have an excellent feel to them. They have a pretty reasonable actuation point at right around 50 grams per key on average. I actually went through and did some testing, and they were between 51 and 60 depending on the key. Some of these keys are much heavier than others, the spacebar being an excellent example of that. And there is some variance based on keycap size, position on the keyboard, and things like that. I'll go ahead and post a nice chart with all those numbers for anyone interested. Be sure to read the full written review.